guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a foundation review, worth the buy or not, on a very new foundation that so many of you guys have been asking me about, and I think you guys thought I forgot or wasn't gonna do it, but man oh man, I literally ordered that little sample size. It was completely the wrong shade. It was so dark. I was in the middle of about to review it and I was like, I need to wait until this launches, so I had to wait until Friday. I went to check my local Sephora's. They didn't have it yet, so I just went ahead and ordered it online, and I just got it last night. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna film today, edit today, upload today. So this is all happening in the course of hours because I want to make sure that I bring you guys the best review and the review quickly. Now they have a Vanish foundation in a stick form, which I am a big fan of. It was a little bit too dewy for me from time to time with my oily skin, but it was such a beautiful finish and such a great formula that it really outweighed the fact that it did get luminous on me. So I'm excited to see how this is going to do. Let's go ahead and read the claims really fast because I want to make sure that I cover everything about the foundation. But I think it's really cool that they came out with this type of formula because not everybody likes a stick foundation, and it did so well that why not make a liquid foundation. So let's go ahead and open this. So it's a highly concentrated liquid foundation designed to deliver instant full coverage with just a half a pump, no primer needed. It's full coverage, natural finish. It's supposed to be great for normal, combination, and oily skin. So it doesn't say dry skin. Just an FYI. With the stick foundation, it was so great for dry skin, but this one, I mean, doesn't say anything about dry skin. Ingredient callouts, free of parabens. This product is also vegan and cruelty free. This highly concentrated formula provides full coverage with minimum product. It applies like a second skin, creating a smooth and flawless complexion. Supposed to be waterproof, transfer proof, and sweat proof. So let's go ahead and try that out. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, because it does say no primer needed, I'm going to do one side with primer and one side with no primer. This side right here, I'm going to do no primer. On this side, I'm going to do primer. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And I'm just going to be making sure that I have a very smooth canvas. I went ahead and did eyeshadow. I probably look a little weird because I don't have on lashes. I just curled my lashes, and that's because I have an eye exam today. So I was like, if I put on lashes, this is probably not going to be a good situation for the doctor or the people checking my eyes. You know that little part during your eye exam where they like have this little thing kind of like blow on your eye, like a pop on your eye? Oh my god, I hate that. I dread that so much. So I'm not looking forward to that. And that's where I was like, okay, I probably can't wear lashes because this just won't work out. And my eye will water and it will just be a lot of bad stuff. I mean, I already do have eyeshadow, which doesn't make it any better, but I just had to do this review right now. So, sorry, not sorry, doctor. Covering this side and this side, we're gonna leave it be. I'm gonna put the Poreless primer away. They just came out with a concealer, the camouflage concealer. It's $5. I am getting that as soon as I'm done filming this part. That looks promising. So we're gonna open the foundation. This is what it looks like. This does have 0.84 ounces, so it has a little tiny bit less than standard size. Packaging looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, they always bring it with their packaging. I mean, it's Hourglass. So let's go ahead. We're supposed to only do one pump, and it's supposed to give us like maximum coverage. So we're gonna start off with this side, and I'm gonna bring you guys closer so we can really see this face. Okay, so I did pick this up in the color Golden Natural, and we are just gonna pump. Okay, any day now. We're gonna do this much. You can see it does look a little bit runny. It says to only go in with one pump, so that's exactly what we're doing. So let's go ahead and dot this. Like I mentioned, this is Golden Natural because my skin is so light right now. I'm going in with these lighter colors and seeing how this goes. Okay, so we're using my sponge. It is damp. Definitely full coverage. I mean, it's covering my rosacea right up. We still have this much, so I'm going to use that to cover the nose. on this side. So right now we're going into the side where we have no primer. So just an FYI in case you guys forgot. This is no primer. And it looks very pigmented, even though it doesn't have like a base underneath of it. It does have like a little bit of a scent. It's nothing crazy. It smells like cereal, like fruity cereal to me. I know we all have different interpretations of scent, so it's kind of hard, but to me it smells like fruity cereal. Definitely is more of a fuller coverage, but I do have to say in some areas I feel like I could add a little bit more right on the cheek area, but everywhere else it was great coverage. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to leave it like this, and then if I want to add more, I can go ahead and add more. But I kind of just want to see what the sponge can do with one pump of this product. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my brush and do this side. And I like to dot it to really distribute it exactly where I want it to go. Using my Tarte Kabuki brush, no, my Tarte bamboo brush. This is one that I've been using a lot lately. Kind of blending it into my skin. Blend out really well. Like that's like maximum coverage right there. I don't know why, but I feel like it looks fuller coverage with a brush. Like here, I feel like you can still see some of my redness peek through. Here, I feel like it completely covered all the redness. And I'm going also like tapping motions and also kind of circular motions to really distribute that as much as possible. But I just feel like this side looks way more pigmented. I feel like it makes such a difference what you use sometimes, like tool wise, whether you use a sponge or a brush, which is why I like to do both of them, because I feel like then we kind of know what would be better to use. But I mean, look at the side. Okay, the side with a brush is definitely the winner. I feel like it gives you so much more fuller coverage, especially for somebody that does have rosacea or scars, things that you want to cover and you don't want it to be seen at all. It definitely gives you a more fuller coverage look, a more, okay, she is beat look. This side I feel like gives you more of a natural look. So if you're going for that more natural looking foundation, then you probably will like this side. I also don't know if it has to do with the fact that I'm wearing a primer on this side and I don't have a primer on this side. But I feel like we will be able to tell more so if it's that further through the day as this does wear. But I have to say, for me personally, the side with the brush just applied it so beautifully that I am really into this. Yeah, you can tell the difference. This side definitely looks more natural, more skin-like. You can definitely see some imperfections shine through. This side you can't. The color Golden Natural is perfect for me. I do have to say this is definitely my winter color. I cannot wear this in the spring or summer. Maybe like early spring I can still get away with it, but in the summer this is gonna be like way too light for me. So if you're around my complexion right now, you probably will enjoy this Golden Natural color because it's a good fit for me. So that we're loving. I love how it's setting. It's definitely setting more of like a soft matte. It's giving me that vibe. Like a nice airbrush powdered finish is what I'm getting with how it sets. So that's nice. This one, same thing, but it looks a little bit more sheer. So I think just because I want to keep things evened out, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more on here, but not that much. I'm going to add just a little tiny bit. That's all we're going to go ahead and add. And we're just going to really keep it centered right on this cheek area, because that's really the only place we need it. I have tried the Hourglass Immaculate Primer, in case you guys are wondering. It's a really good primer if you do have oily skin. Would I say it's absolutely life-changing and you're not gonna be able to find anything better? Probably you can find things that are better for the cheaper price. But it's a really good primer if you do have the money to splurge on it. Okay, there we go. Now it looks much better. I feel like with just half of another pump, it went ahead and covered that real quick. So if you like a more buildable situation, you can always go in and pump another one, and you can go in with a sponge. But I really like the finish that this brush gave me. It was fantastic. So I will have the Tarte brush linked down below. I used to be obsessed with my Delium tools, but it broke because I used it so much. So right now I've been just using the Tarte bamboo brush, and I really have been liking this. You just have to be careful when you clean this brush, because if you aren't careful, it will get busted. I remember I owned another one and I was like, what the hell? And it got busted, and I was like, fuck this. I'm not using this. So I went ahead and just purchased another one recently when I went to IMATS because it was cheaper. And I've been using this and I really enjoy it. So I just make sure that I don't let it get too too dirty, because if you let it get too dirty, it's so much buildup that it's hard to get all that off, and that's when your brush can get ruined. So it's probably almost time for me to wash this again. But that would just be my little recommendation and side note. So let's go ahead and put both of these away. I'm really excited to see how this is gonna do. I'm gonna come up close because I want to see the skin. Honestly, it actually kind of did a good job of also blurring out my imperfections on the side where I'm not wearing primer. On the side where I am wearing primer, because it's a poreless primer, it definitely does a good job of concealing that area. But on this side too, it doesn't enhance my enlarged pores. And you guys know that I do have enlarged pores down there, and that's always one of the things I always want to cover, is something that will blur them out. But I feel like the fact that this foundation right on this side doesn't have any primer underneath, it's looking pretty beautiful. It's looking like I don't have enlarged pores. So I give it to that, because a lot of foundations do still really enhance my enlarged pores, and this one isn't doing that. I like the finish that it's giving me. Like I mentioned, it's like a soft matte finish, but it still looks like your skin. So it's not like you're getting super duper duper matte vibes. I don't know why, but I'm really gravitating towards the brush side. I feel like it looks absolutely beautiful applied with a brush. Like, do you see this? Like, it just looks so good. So right now I have to say the brush side is winning in my opinion. I don't know if it's because it has primer or what, but it's looking really good. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm gonna finish the rest of my products, and then I'm gonna come back on camera and give you my very first initial thoughts on this foundation, and then we can go ahead and start our day and find out whether this Vanish Hourglass foundation is worth the buy or not. So stay tuned. Okay, so I am back right now. It is 9:25 a.m. and I finished my entire face of makeup. I have to say I'm really impressed with how well it did when I applied my concealer, my blush, everything. I feel like everything went on so beautifully, and I just am living for it. So I do have to give it props. I feel like it looks very, very beautiful. I did go ahead and bake my under eyes and use whatever powder I had left over to kind of go in these little areas where I tend to get oily. I did go on to Sephora right now because I wanted to make sure I told you guys the right price. I did purchase this online because they didn't have it in my local Sephora for $56. So this is $56. Hourglass is typically a very pricey foundation, and the color Golden Natural is medium olive undertone. So that's what I'm wearing right now. If you have medium skin with an olive undertone, you probably will enjoy this. I feel like it's really good match right now. So I do quickly want to mention though, when I went through the Sephora app and saw the ratings, it had like what? Let's see. I think it had like 3 stars. Yeah, 3 stars. People were very like upset with how different it was than the stick foundation. I did say it in the video earlier if you guys watched. I feel like the stick foundation is geared towards those people that have dry skin that want something super hydrating and glowy, because for me it was beautiful at the beginning, but then by the end of the day it was super oily. I feel like this one is more of a full coverage. You have to use less product. I feel like with one dot with the brush, it applies phenomenally. I know people worry that it can set into their fine lines and whatnot. It does set a little bit into these fine lines I have up here, so just be mindful. I definitely wouldn't recommend this to somebody that has dry skin or is worried about it settling to their fine lines, because it is setting up here, so I'm gonna have to go back and kind of blend it out just to make sure that it doesn't look really like separated. But I think I will definitely be keeping an eye on this during the day so you guys can know more about it. But I will be doing a check-in with natural lighting in a few hours because I want you guys to see how this looks on my skin with the natural light hitting my face. Also just kind of see how the skin looks in the natural lighting. But I do have to say that for me, a girl that has oily skin, this is looking really nice. Now this is just the beginning. Everything can look really nice in the beginning, so we are going to wear this for the rest of the day, and I'm gonna come back and give you guys my full-blown thoughts and whether this is worth $56. Now, there's so many foundations right now on the market that are so inexpensive, that are launching their products left and right, that it's gonna be extremely hard for me to sit here and be like completely blown away and impressed by something that's $56. Do I think it looks very beautiful? Yes, it does, but a lot of products look very beautiful at the beginning of the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and just carry on with the rest of my day. But so far, I personally am liking how this looks on my skin. I feel like it gives me a very perfected, full coverage, more so of like a soft matte, almost like my skin's powdered finish. So if you guys are not into that, then maybe not. But I definitely do think this formula is different when it sets than the Vanish Stick Foundation. So those are just very first impressions, but I'll be checking you guys in through the day just so that we can go ahead and develop some good thoughts on this Hourglass Foundation. So if you want to stick around and see my full-blown thoughts and whether this is worth your cash or not, then go ahead and stay tuned until the end of this video because you won't want to miss this. Okay guys, so I am back. It is currently 9:55 p.m. It's been a very long day. So as you guys see, the foundation is looking dewy. So I definitely feel like it's not worth the buy for me, to be completely honest. It did look very pretty when we had last seen each other in this filming space. It looked very pretty, but like I mentioned in that clip, I said, you know what, there's many foundations that can look super beautiful as soon as you apply them, but what really matters is the longevity of them. You know, I can sit here and be like, oh my God, this is looking so stunning, and then 6 hours later, I can come back and be like, what the heck? And the reason why I say this isn't worth the buy is because this Hourglass foundation is $56, okay? There's so many foundations out there that are super affordable that do the job, that, you know, give me a really beautiful finish through the day and don't do some of the things that this did. So one of the things that I did notice is that it comes off super easily. There's some areas on my nose that the product is completely gone. Same for my mouth. That's just for me, like, I'm like, okay, if I'm paying $56 and this is happening, and like how shiny I look, and I just feel like the product looks really heavy, like it feels like I have a layer of something on top of my skin, that's not going to be worth it to me, you know? I feel like I would skip out on this and look towards foundations that are a bit more affordable, or if you do want to look for a new foundation that's high-end, guys, I will say this over and over, but the Forever foundation by Dior, the new one that just came out, is so good. Like, they came out with one for people that have oily skin and one for people that have dry skin, so you guys can really pick from a lot there, and you get such a beautiful finish with this. So that would be what I have to say right away. I just feel like this Hourglass foundation for me is not cutting it. I know that some people were saying that they were really disappointed with the fact that this foundation is different formula than the stick foundation. It's going to be different because that foundation is stick formula, this is a liquid formula, but also in the directions and in the description, it does tell you what type of skin this is geared towards. In that description, it does not say anything about dry skin, which I think, as somebody who has tried the Vanish stick foundation and you see a new Vanish liquid foundation, you're like, oh my God, this is going to work the same because it has that same name. So I think what Hourglass should have done is they should have named their foundation something else besides Vanish, because I feel like people were expecting that same type of thing to happen with this foundation, and I feel like it didn't. This is definitely geared towards more for people that have like oily type of skin. I would honestly say, for me, oily, I mean, we're looking pretty dewy right now. I mean, it's been a long day. it's not extreme dewy, but we are looking dewy. I would say this is probably best for somebody that has combination skin who likes a full coverage foundation. If you don't like full coverage foundation, if you don't like something to look heavy, you're afraid it's gonna break apart on your fine lines and stuff like that, you won't like this Hourglass foundation because it's not the same exact consistency as a stick foundation. I personally wouldn't waste my money. Like if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't repurchase it, or I wouldn't purchase it, because I feel like $56 is a lot of money. When I'm telling you, if you're looking for some good matte foundations, you can head on over to the drugstore. The Morphe foundation, I just reviewed this, but this is a really, really like stay in place matte foundation, geared more towards for oily skin. Also, my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, really good, super duper affordable. I'm telling you guys, drugstore did not come to play the past year. I'm sure this year there's gonna be a lot more drugstore foundations that are fantastic, but it's really hard to compete nowadays when you're selling at such a high price point with these brands that are selling at a much more affordable point, and they're really killing the game. So I personally have to say that this Hourglass foundation is a miss for me. The only thing that I really did like about it that I have to say is the color was a really good match for my skin type. But I definitely feel like this is geared more so for people that have that combination skin, that love a full coverage. Do not use too much of this. Use a little bit like I've suggested, just like one pump. Also, I would use a brush because you get more coverage. If you want to build up, you can use a sponge, but I just feel like this side doesn't look pretty with the sponge. So maybe that's just my feelings about it, but I don't know, I just feel like my texture's enhanced right now. I can personally tell when something looks nice by the end of the day, and I think it'll be worth it, especially when you're about to spend this much money. I just would say pass on it. But you can go check it out for yourself. I think it's in store at Sephora stores now, so you can go ahead and take a peek and see if they have it. They have a lot of shades. But if not, I would just hold off until you do find it in store, so you can kind of test out the formula and perhaps have one of the beauty advisors at Sephora test it out on your skin. So that would be my recommendation for you guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I try to make it as informative as possible for you guys because I love giving you guys some real honest opinions. So please go ahead and take those opinions, and also realize that, you know, you may have a different opinion than me, but I'm always here to give you guys my honesty. So please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing these types of videos. Let me know what foundation reviews you want to see next, because I think right now there's not that many, but I think in March, the end of February, there's going to be a lot more stuff coming in stores. So I'm really excited about all that. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. I would love for you to become a member of family here on YouTube, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss my videos for the world. So go ahead and subscribe now. And also, please don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you never ever miss a video, because who would want to miss one of these? I mean, I'm saving you tons of money, right? Yeah, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you're always here on my channel. And that being said, I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. It's about 4 degrees right now, so I'm about to curl up in bed and get some rest. So bye, guys.